So when we're working kind of into this T-pose, I want you to focus on pushing those hips out to the side rather than pushing them back. Push them straight out to the side and hinge over. So we'll get a couple of those kind of back and forth at your own pace, trying to mobilize through those hips, working in that lateral position we don't get a whole lot of as we sit down. All right, so once we get there, we're just going to go a little bit forward, kind of open up that lower back a little bit. It's going to kind of look weird. Then we're going to hinge those hips backwards and reach that chest out towards the ground. If you want to reach those hands, that's fine. Do want you to focus on pushing or reaching straight down. So instead of kind of reaching back towards your heels as we do, I want you to focus on pushing your chest to the ground, getting that good hamstring stretch. All right, we'll kind of reverse those. Back up, pushing those hips forward. Kind of thinking about arching your back and reaching up and back. It looks really weird on camera. Then we're going to hinge forward, push those hips down, and relax. All right, so we're going to kind of just get some body weight squats, just get some blood flowing through those knees, through those quads, through our hamstrings. We're going to use on those a little bit. So I want you to kind of play with your stance a little bit, get a little bit wider, a little bit more narrow. Whatever is going to help kind of get you warmed up. No, definitely that wider, a little bit more on those lateral glutes is what I need right there. All right, next one, I want you to come down and hold the bottom of that squat and just focus on driving those knees out as much as you can. You should get a little bit extra glute squeeze in there. And relax, stand it up, pause 1 second, same deal, we're going to drop down, actively drive those knees out, squeeze those glutes, tight, 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 my knees are shaking, and back up, go ahead and relax. So we're going to get a little bit of our inverted hamstring / Romanian deadlift. So up on one leg, just going to kick that leg back to the wall, extend through that hamstring, and squeeze it up. Same leg again, hinge back. Chest goes down towards the ground and back up. So next two, as we come down, we're going to pause at the bottom, and I want you to focus on back up as fast as you can, hinging over, squeeze that glute, and driving back up. Good. Get about 2 more at your own pace. We're still all on the same leg. Hinge down, driving back up. Good. We'll go ahead and switch legs. So we'll get about 3 or 4. Trying a good, gentle pace. Stretch out that hamstring on that other side. Find that balance. Don't cheat those reps by getting all off balance and just kind of standing up. Mike, I see you. Go ahead and hinge. Find that balance. Drive those hips through. Good. Let's go 2 of those explosive reps. Just focus on getting that glute activation. Find that balance and drive up. All right, let's go ahead and grab your weights. We're going to go ahead and get started. I lied. We're not going to grab our weights quite yet. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different movements. We're going to try to squeeze in 3 rounds of these. So we're going to try to move relatively quickly. We're going to go through them 1 at a time as we go down first. And then we'll kind of pick up the pace as we go through. All right. So tall order today. We're going to make it happen. First thing we're starting off is with some drop squats to a bound. Okay, so what it's going to look like, I'm not really even in the frame, am I? I'm going to move this back. Okay, you can see me. Okay, so we're going to stand up nice and tall. Drop squats, what we're going to do is start on 2 feet. So watch me first, is we're going to go from here, we're going to drop to a single leg. Okay, so we're going to start on that left leg. We're going to stand up nice and tall and drop, single leg. Good. Find that balance. Left leg again. Nice and tall. Drop. Good. All right, we're going to try 2 on the right side. Stand tall to the right leg and go. Find that balance and reestablish. Nice and tall. And drop. Good. Find that balance. All right, so now we're going to add a bound to that. Switching legs after we drop. So what it's going to look like is we're going to stand nice and tall. We're going to drop to the single leg. From that position, back up, land on the other leg. Okay, so again, we're going to start nice and tall from 2 feet, dropping to one leg, up to that other leg, okay? On that bound, on that jump, I want you to focus on driving up as high as you can, as much power on that single leg as possible. Land, reestablish that balance, and we'll get set up. All right, so we're gonna do this all together. So we're gonna start nice and tall. We're gonna start dropping to your left leg and go. Up, right leg, stick, and relax. All right, so now we're gonna switch legs. We're gonna drop to the right leg, go, up, find that balance. Good. Left leg again, nice and tall. Drop, go. Good. Right leg, go, up, and relax. We're gonna go one more time each way. My balance wasn't as good as that one. Hopefully yours is. Nice and tall to the left leg, go, up. Good. Last time, dropping the right leg, nice and tall. Drop, go, and relax. Good. All right. So, if you've got a weight, we're going to do first on rotational lifts. So think about these kind of like a crossbody kettlebell swing, okay? We're going to kind of load into our hip and we're going to push kind of diagonally up, okay? I don't want you to get too extended. If you have a kettlebell, great. If you have a dumbbell, that's fine too. Load into your hip. I want you to think about it just like a Russian swing, pushing up to your eye level. Okay, we're going to come back and catch that weight into our hip. So what it's going to look like, we're going to load into that hip, pushing up. All right, we're going to come into that same hip for 6 reps, and then to the other hip, 6 reps. Okay, I want you to go at your own pace on this as you load, push through that hip for 6 good reps. Focus on driving that back hip up and through. And once you get 6, at your own pace, go to the other hip. Make sure you're holding on tight. Don't need any holes in the wall, right? And relax. All right. So again, big cue on that one. Think about loading that hip, exploding that hip. Okay? Next one, we're going to kind of slow down the tempo a little bit. We're going to go to a press to windmill. So I know you did some windmills earlier this week. We're going to kind of step it up as a press, and we're going to reinforce what that actual windmill was. So before we grab that weight, actually those that aren't super familiar with the windmill, we're going to put one arm straight up, one arm on the outside of the leg. So my right hand is up, my left arm is down. It's going to make it easier for the cues, trust me. I'm going to push my hips out to the right side. So whatever arm is up, the hips go that way. And take my eyes looking up at that top hand. I'm just going to slide that left arm down the leg, trying to get as close to my ankle as I can. Okay? So with these ones, your hips are going to move back a bit because we're going to be hinged forward. I know that warm-up, I wanted you to kind of work on pushing that hip out straight to the side versus back. But that was just to kind of get that mobility, and we're just going to add that extra piece into it. All right? So let's go ahead and take that weight to the shoulder. What we're going to do is get a nice, smooth, controlled press up in the air, and then we are set for that windmill. So we're going to drop down into that windmill. All right? Keep that weight above that center of gravity, and slowly drive it back up. Weight turns back to the shoulder, pressing up again, dropping that hip out, and back up. All right, we're going to go 3 more at your own pace here, making sure that hip cheats out to the side, that that arm is up, or the hand that the weight is in. Good. Nice and tall. We're going to go 1 more if you're with me. Actively pushing that weight up and switch sides. All right? So remember, whatever hand has the weight, hips are going to cheat that way, and we're going to slide down. All right? If you started with your strong side, your other side might feel a little bit more strange. That's totally fine. Take this a little bit slower at your pace. And we're doing 5 here on each side. remember that cue of looking up at your hand or looking up at that weight. That's going to help us keep that thoracic spine in the proper position. Yeah, one more if you're with me. If not, finish those 5. We'll bring it back down and relax. All right, I'll give you a second to wrap that up. Then we're going to move to some not bent over, but renegade rows. So you're going to get those dumbbells on the ground. I'm sure everybody's done these before. We're going to be into a high plank, and we're just going to alternate rowing those dumbbells. All right? So no push-up in this one. High plank. We're just pulling the hand to the hip and back down. I want you to give me 10 total, 5 each side. I want you very controlled. Focus on keeping those hips down nice and level. Keeping those feet out nice and wide for a big base of support. The heavier the weight, tougher this is going to be, pretty obvious. But we should really focus on that anti-rotation of the hips. That's going to be our prime objective here, is keeping those hips from rotating. Now, one more on each with me. Boom. All right. Take those again at a pace we can handle. All right, don't worry about running through those anti-rotation. All right, we're going to move to some narrow stance RDLs. So for our narrow stance, typically we're going to keep those feet about hip width apart as we do deadlifts or Romanian deadlifts, but we're going to take those feet pretty much right on top of each other. If you have like a book or magically a plate or something, think about you're standing on that. If you want to, you can even elevate those heels and do those. So feet nice and close together, hinging those hips back, dropping down to a back flat, squeezing those glutes back up. So if you remember those single leg RDLs, inverted hamstrings that we did during that warm up, think about that same mentality. In control down, find that balance, power those glutes through. Smooth on the way down, power those glutes through. All right? Don't think about lifting those weights. I want you to focus on driving those hips forward. As you open those hips, that upper body is going to hinge up, and those weights will come with it, right? As long as we're still holding on. All right? Let's go 3 more. Still breathing. Good control of that core, those abs, that low back. And good. All right. So we got 1 down. So we're going to speed through this next round. We're going to make it happen, all right? So we're going to get back to, oops, totally made disappear. So we're going to get through to those drop squats. So we're going to start nice and tall. We're going to be dropping to the left and go. Up. Find that balance and reset. To the right side. Go. Up. Good. To the left side. Go. Up. And relax. Good. To the right side. Go. Up. Good. Find that balance now. Left side. Last time. Go. Up. Good. Last time. Right side. Go. Up. And relax. Nice. All right. We're going to go to those rotational lifts. Like I said, we know what we're doing. Now we're just going to kind of roll through these 6 times from that hip right in front of that shoulder. All right, 6 good reps. Load into that hip. Push through. Keep those arms nice and long. 6 and 6. Yeah. A little bit of rotational power. All right, take a breath. We're gonna go for those windmills. So heart rate's nice and high. All right, so we're gonna work on a little bit of control movement. Gotta bring that heart rate back down. All right, smooth press up, look up, cheat that hip, and hinge down. All right, if you're finding some difficulty with that weight, we can certainly drop that weight. Just use that hand if we need to focus a little bit more on the mobility of that shoulder. Right? Don't be worried about doing this without any weight. All right, you should be worried if you're doing it with too much weight. Good mobility exercise. Remember 5 and 5. And switching sides. So remember, hand that's up, hip goes that direction. So left hand up, hip shoot to the left. Right hand to right ankle, and back up. I don't think I gotta press in those last two. Should be pressing at the end of each one. Kind of reestablishing that overhead position. And again, don't rush through these. If you find that you're finishing multiple reps ahead of me, all right, let's try to slow it down, get a little bit more control with that windmill. All right, give me a few extra seconds to finish up if you're still working. Get those dumbbells set up for those renegade rows. So remember, push those hips down. All right, keep those feet out nice and wide. All right, let's go for it. We got 10 renegade rows, 5 each side, in control. Slow pull, squeeze, and back down. All right, don't rush through these reps. The slower, the better. Move slow, that's how we grow, right? In a good way. Your muscles. Here we go. If you're with me, you got one more each way. All right. Take a breath. We're going to go to those RDLs. Coming up next, we're running pace, folks. We got this. Just grabbing those dumbbells nice and tall. Feet very narrow. Almost on top of each other. All right, hinge. Find that balance. Squeeze those glutes and drive through. Push those hips as far away from those heels as possible. And drive them right over those heels. We're going to go for about 10 to 12, wherever you are with your weights. If you're with me, you got 5. Three to go. Big squeeze. Remember, squeeze those glutes at the top. Finish each and every rep. Last one. All right. Take a quick break. Remember, staying hydrated. All right, we got 1 round to go, folks. Hopefully you're ready, you're energized, you've got it. We know what to expect. We're going to make it happen. All right, we're going to go back to these drop squats, nice and tall. So on those bounds, remember, when we jump, explosive. Push that ground away, throw those hands up, get as much as you can into that jump. All right? We're going to start going to the right foot this time. So nice and tall. Go. Up. Good. Find that balance. Reset. Left foot. Go. Up. Good. Back to right foot. Up. Go. Up. Ooh, not the best. Left foot. Go. Up. Ooh, losing it. Take a second and reset. All right, last time. Right foot. Go. Up. Ooh, All right, last time. Hopefully you're doing better than me. Left foot. Go. Up. All right, that's called right there. That was tough. Coordination really leaves after you do a whole lot of exercising. All right, we're gonna go into those rotational lifts, those pseudo swings. All right, hip to shoulder. All right, don't go too far to the lateral. Keep it kind of like a sash, right from the hip right over that shoulder. All right, 6 and 6 on your pace. Big hip drive. And 6, 6 to the other side. All right. Good. All right. We're going to go that press the windmill. Remember, we're going to work to control that heart rate. So to that shoulder, nice and tall. Take a breath. Settle up. Big press up. Hold strong. Remember, actively pushing that weight to the ceiling as we go through that windmill. All right, don't just press it up and forget about it. Actively press it to the ceiling the entire time, or to the sky if you're outside. Big push. 5 each side. Should be a very fluid movement as you go through. If it's not looking too fluid, all right, take that weight down. Find that stability as you go through. Switch to the other side if you haven't already. Big push. Good. Hopefully the mobility aspect of this one is a bit easier than when you started. We are nice and warm, very loose through those hips, through those low backs, even through those hamstrings. And 2 more if you're with me. Last one, nice and tall, big press. Punch it, hold it strong, and relax. All right, renegade rows, we're gonna roll right into this one. Just remember, the wider your feet, the bigger your base, the more stability. If you want that extra challenge, bring those feet in a little bit more narrow. You're gonna find those hips want to move up quite a bit. We're going to stay, keep them bunched into the ground, all right? 10 reps, in control, 5 each side. Should feel that core lighten up. Push those hips down, keep those glutes squeezed. All right, don't let those hips get too high. Last one, if you're with me. Relax. We're gonna roll into those RDLs one last time. This is gonna be our last one for today. We're gonna shoot for all 12 reps. All right, you ready for it? Let's do it. Focus on that glute squeeze. Feet together. Remember, narrow stance, hinge, and explode. We're finishing strong again. Last movement of the day. Make sure they're looking good. If we need to drop that weight, feel free to drop that weight. You have 2 weights, you can do it with 1. Legs are staying stiff, very slight bend in the knee. All right, but keeping those legs narrow. And then give us that big, long hamstring stretch. 2 more if you're with me. Last one. And good. All right, that's gonna do it, folks. I gotta hop off. We got strength flow here in just a minute if you do want to hang around or a little bit extra mobility. I'll see you back in 5 minutes. Otherwise, have a great rest of your evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.